Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now officially just 146 days away from its release date by director J.J. Abrams and creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is, of course, the return of Emperor Palpatine and the fact that Ian McDiarmid himself is back for the role in order to end the Skywalker saga properly. The man who portrayed Palpatine in the originals and the prequels is back for this movie. Even John Boyega expressed over at Star Wars Celebration a couple of months ago that his mind was blown as to how J.J. Abrams was actually introducing Palpatine back into the Star Wars franchise in this film. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting, involving, of course, both Rey and Kylo Ren, as well as Palpatine and Darth Plagueis. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of one of the sequences based in the third act of the film, where it's described that both Rey and Kylo Ren are in a standoff against the Dark Acolyte who is under control by Palpatine's spirit. It's described that as the Dark Acolyte fights Rey and Kylo, he appears more like Palpatine over time, leading to a moment in which Sidious reveals secrets of his master, Darth Plagueis. It's described that Palpatine unveils that it was Plagueis who taught him the ability of essence transfer. However, it's explained that Sidious reveals that it wasn't enough to live in one's body, as long as due to the immense dark side energy. It's described that Palpatine discovered in the manuscript of Darth Plagueis that Sidious discovered the possibility of one's spirit exiting a body and entering a host body. It's described that Plagueis was researching this and that Palpatine got the idea from his master many years ago. Though Plagueis knew the ability to cheat death, he never wrote it down in his secrets and stopped writing in his manuscript sometime before Plagueis discovered the technique in transferring one's spirit into another body without the use of essence transfer, and that one must die after learning the technique either of natural causes or with a device that belonged to the Dark Acolytes during death. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that they are diving directly deep into Jedi, Sith, and Force lore to really kind of explore different sides of the Star Wars universe with Episode 9, and that Episode 9 is being used as a foundation to really build up new Star Wars lore that fans have never seen before on the big screen. So in this particular scenario, it's said to be the standoff between both Rey and Kylo going up against the Dark Acolyte, where the Dark Acolyte is actually said to be controlled by the spirit of Sidious, where Sidious, also known as Palpatine, unveils his secret about Darth Plagueis, and that he got this idea from his very own master, Darth Plagueis himself, from what he was actually writing down in his manuscript, little bits and pieces of the ability of transferring one's spirit from one's body to a host body. Now, that's a very interesting side of Star Wars, because as of right now, we know little to nothing about Darth Plagueis. In fact, in the current canon material, we don't even know his new species. You know, in Legends, he's a Mun, but in Episode 9, and of course, now in the current canon material, we still don't know exactly what the species of Darth Plagueis really is as of right now. So he really could be anybody if they really wanted to. Now, with that being said, in this particular moment, Sidious also reveals that he discovered the manuscript of Darth Plagueis, and in there, Plagueis was actually researching the ability of transferring one's spirit to another body, where though he did not reveal the full ability in his manuscript and stopped before he actually believed and learned the actual ability before his very own eyes, where Palpatine wasn't able to get onto the truth many years ago and eventually discovered it through the Dark Acolytes as well as through the help of Darth Maul, like we have been going over. So what's exciting about Episode 9 as well is that we do know that J.J. Abrams also used Star Wars Legends as inspirational source material to use the return of Palpatine in a very unique way. In Legends, there was a comic line called Dark Empire where Palpatine comes back to life through one of his clones. Now, in this scenario, Disney and Lucasfilm are taking that idea and kind of changing it from what it seems. Instead of a Palpatine clone, Palpatine is essentially transferring his spirit and his consciousness into a unknown body, somebody that he doesn't even know. That is said, of course, to be the Dark Acolyte associated with the dark side of the Force. So Palpatine is said to be a major figure in this movie. He's not a mere cameo. He's not a side character. He's not going to be a character that's going to be put to the wayside or anything like that. Palpatine really is going to be a prominent figure in the rise of Skywalker. That's going to be very vital to the storytelling process by JJ and George Lucas, as well as Chris Terrio. Now, the last thing that I do want to touch on is, of course, this big secret of Darth Plagueis, how Palpatine got this whole entire idea from Plagueis himself, his very own master, and I like how they're expanding on the character of Plagueis. The only time that we even got a reference of him was in Star Wars: The Revenge of the Sith, where Chancellor Palpatine at the time is talking about everything related to Plagueis and how his apprentice killed him in his sleep, which, without a doubt, I believe is where Rian Johnson got his idea of Luke Skywalker trying to kill Kylo Ren in his sleep. But with that being said, guys, anyways, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.